Hey, keeps going down these streams. Tell you what, not ideal at all. So, we're back live, apparently. We've just been streaming for about half an hour and it went down. Updates then. Second time this has happened in the past 2 streams. Streaming is stressful. So we just went 1-0 up against West Ham. Andre Anderson with a finish. And that happened before we went down. Ivan Lopez comes out. Nice win there. Finds Batista Maya on the left hand side. Goes for goal. Can't quite finish. Going at half time 1-0 up. Pretty fortunate to be in this position, to be quite honest with you. Looks like people are rejoining the stream. Sorry about that, lads. I have no idea what happened. It just disconnected. It's the second time now in 2 streams. I need to figure out my OBS settings because this isn't ideal. So 70 minutes gone. Ivan Lopez on the right hand side with a throw in, only 15 minutes remaining. Ball's played into Batista Maya, but it goes just wide. Jose Gomes on the left. Oh, that's a penalty. Come on, lads, put us 2-0 up, see this game out. Who does take out penalties? Esposito, of course. Good strike. Cheers, Michael, mate. Thank you for dropping by the stream. I appreciate that. Hoping to get some, Sunderland back to the top and dominate the Premier League if we can. Esposito coming down at the left hand side, gets dispossessed by Issa Diop. He's in behind though. I'll tell you what, we've completely stole this game from West Ham. I would say they had the advantage after the first half, but second half they've done absolutely nothing. I mean, that was pretty fortunate to fall at Esposito in the end. With about 5 minutes left, we'll look to make our subs in. Antonin come on for Batista Maya, Denver Hume for Jose Gomes, and Marcinski on that right hand side for Lyndon Gutu, who hasn't had a good game, despite the rest of the team doing pretty well. Can we get one final goal? Ballymumba with the ball in, Hansha Olsen wins it and goes wide. And there we have it then. West Ham 0, Sunderland 3. Absolutely amazing result away from home. West Ham obviously one of the best sides in the league. So the fact that we can go away from home and do that to them is pretty special. And that puts us 3 points ahead of Newcastle now. They drew in their game against QPR, which is fantastic. Esposito given man of the match. Thoroughly deserved for his 2 goals. We have Stoke City next at home, which will be another huge game. I should have got Jakobsen on that game, giving him some game time as well. See players like this, Matt Smith from Manchester City. There'll be loads of Championships clubs who will be more than happy to sign him on a free, but they can't offer him a contract until a month out. So Bordeaux are going to come in and agree a deal with him, and now suddenly he will be out of our leagues and into Europe, which is disappointing. There's loads of players I would love to offer a contract to, but we can't. Let's have a look, see what our scouts are recommending. Anything interesting? Generally not. So we still have a couple of weeks left in the January transfer window. I think I'm happy with my squad though. I would like to make signings, but our reputation hasn't quite caught up to our position in the Championship, so a lot of players are just not interested. They think we're a mid-table / lower down in the Championship sort of side, rather than one who's likely to be in the Premier League next year. Oh, best tap my lid off. Ballymumba again having another impressive training week. He's valued at 11.25 million now. 5 now. How much would I sell him for? 30 million? 25? 20? I don't think Ballymumba actually has Premier League potential, generally. I think we've just managed to get the most out of him as things stand, and he's turned into a decent enough Championship player who's performed exceptionally well above his attributes pretty much every single time he's played. Just sort these out. Right then. So we've got Hull in the FA Cup. That's a good draw for us. Keep it in the Championship, we should be just fine. If we can avoid the Premier League teams for as long as is humanly possible, that would be absolutely ideal. John McLaughlin continues to whinge about not getting first team football, then drops it at the threat of selling him, so I think his contract runs out at the end of this season or next, so I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves the club either way. So Stoke at home, then Hull City at home. Oh, George Dobson, best trainer this week. Jose Gomes doing well as well. He'll have some recovery to do after returning from injury, so his attributes will start to increase after they fell. I think he was out for a few weeks. Right then, so it's Stoke City up next. They're not having a good season. They're currently sitting in 20th, but they do still have good players. They've still got the likes of Jack Butland in goal. Do we drop Ballymumba for Jakobsen just to see how he gets on in that central midfield role? We'll keep Armeni and look to get his match fitness back up to 100%. We'll take Andre Anderson out for Marcinski. Jack Clark has returned from injury as well. Scowen can come onto the bench. I want Lyndon Gooch on the bench as well. And we get to the game. Another 3 points, please. That will be ideal. Keep the pressure up on the likes of Newcastle, on the likes of West Brom and Sheffield United. We want them to be chasing us. We don't want to be giving them easy points gained. So at home against the teams like Stoke, we should be winning. They've still got the likes of Butland and goal, Josh Timon at left back and stuff, but they're not a good side. As Esposito beats the offside trap, he's in behind. Esposito, oh, Timon clears just about. We'll stick with the corner though. Batista Maya plays it in. Back post, Dobson. Unlucky George. Ivan's picked up a knock at right back. We will look to get him off. So we'll bring on Ballymumba at right back. He can play there. I think he's not natural there, but he's accomplished there, or whatever the next one down is. So he should have a pretty good game even at right back. And it gives us the option to start Jakobsen in central midfield as we look to try and increase his attributes for the start of the Premier League season, hopefully next year. And we have a highlight before half-time. Mumba on this right-hand side. Poo across. Thankfully, George Dobson is there to mop it up as Kalisa. Looks like they're pressing pretty well, but our boys are playing it about nicely with Jack Clark. Gets past his man, gets tucked down, and that's a penalty. Esposito, come on lad, put us 1-0 up, 45 minutes in, just before half time. An absolute killer blow to Stoke if we do this. Oh, just about. Just about went in. His 20th goal of the season. Oh, Jack Butland came very, very close to saving that one. There we have it. Sunderland 1, Stoke City 0. Pleased with how things are going, lads. Do it again. Not having the best performance in terms of the ratings from our boys, but I don't really care as long as we're winning. 63 minutes in, Ballymumba with the free kick over the top to Esposito. Had a lot of work to do there. Would have been a good goal if he'd managed to do it. Newcastle are getting beat by Bristol Rovers. I've just... Oh, 2-0 Bristol Rovers. Come on, Rovers. That'd be absolutely brilliant for us. Hello, Matty. How's it going? 20 minutes to go in this one. And things are looking pretty much wrapped up. Denver Hume and Jack Clark can come off. We'll bring Anton in on that right-hand side, rather than Lyndon Gooch. We are still attacking. We'll go down to positive A for the final 5. Stoke have offered absolutely nothing so far this game. And there we have it. Sunderland 1, Stoke City 0. A pretty routine victory, but we will take the routine as far as it lasts. And there we have it then. Newcastle ended up drawing in the end with Bristol Rovers. But that pushes our lead above them to 5 points. And we're still 13 points clear from West Brom in third as well. I'm thinking, lads, automatic promotion is pretty much, not guaranteed. Let's not say that, but pretty much guaranteed. 7 days to go before our Hull City FA Cup game. As I said earlier, I would like the FA Cup. I would like to try and beat what we did last season, which was the 5th round. So if we can get past Hull City in the next game, we are into the 5th round, and then hopefully we don't draw a Premier League side. That is the main hope. So Ivan's out for 3 weeks. I'm thinking Ballymumba takes his spot at right back for the next few games. And Jakobsen, our new signing, comes into centre midfield. Because it's 2 players who I want to give as much game time to as possible. But we only play 1 central midfielder. So one of them is going to be missing out. And Ballymumba wants himself a new contract. He's only on 4.6k per week as a regular starter. You're not an important player. Regular starter. Say how much he wants. He wants 25k per week. Is he having a giraffe? Is he having an absolute laugh? I mean, he's been great for us, don't get me wrong. But you're not getting 23k per week. You're now 15. That's my absolute limit. Alright, George Dobson speaks him out of it. Absolute crazy. 25k per week, he'd probably be the highest earner at the club. No chance. I like him a lot. Just not that much. I'll probably end up giving him a new deal next season when he's not a starter. I might look at it again, Matty, at the end of the season. See if we can talk him down a little bit. We maybe it's a little bit petty, but we're only spending 290k per week on our wages. So if I was to give him what he wanted, he would basically be getting close to 10% of our wage bill on Ballymumba, which not happening. Not happening. Once we get to the next season, or at the end of this season, I'll look at it again. Ballymumba probably not going to be a starter for us next year. He's still advancing and he's doing well in training every week, and he's obviously playing most games for us. But his attributes aren't quite catching up to the level that we're playing at. So I can't imagine it being Premier League level next season. And as much as I want to stick with our youth players and our younger players that we've got in the squad. I also want us to do really, really well in our first season, so I want to get the best first 11 I can put together. It can sort of be an unofficial yo-yo man attempt. See where we can come on the leaderboard without actually making it onto the leaderboard. I don't think we'll have any chance of beating Birmingham. It's too early in the game, so the regens haven't started developing yet. It's an idea, Matty, it is. Sticking with the players that get you up, definitely in the first season as well. It definitely works. I just hold no sentimentality for most players. I'm more than happy just to brush them aside and get the better replacements in, if we can afford it. So with Ivan out injured, we will put Bally out there at right back. I think he's pretty good, pretty well rounded for a right back spot. Not the best flair, or dribbling or crossing, but he's pretty good there. And we'll bring our new boy Jakobsen into central midfield and give him another 90 minutes or so. I'm hoping he will start rapidly improving Jakobsen with first team football. We signed him from Copenhagen's under 18 side, so this is a far higher level than he's ever played at before, and obviously that has a big influence on how quickly someone increases their own attributes. So 2 minutes in, Ballymumba picking up the ball in our own half. That's an absolutely dreadful pass. Thankfully, Jack Clark bails him out. Andre Anderson through the centre. Back to Armini. Jose Gomes on the left. There he's there. There he's there. Andre Anderson takes it. It does eventually go to Jose Gomes. Can't quite get past De Silva Lopez though. Does this time. Batista Maya in the box. Oh, I tell you what, lads. It's a little bit cheeky, Batista Maya. If it's a possibility, Tom, I would absolutely love to sign Esposito in the summer. Generally, based on my own experience, it probably won't be a signing I can make just down to finances more than anything. And what I might do is try and loan him again. That might be an option. And then maybe try and get an agreed fee in there for the season after next. Because he does, I mean, I think I've had him for pretty much most sides I've managed at some point. And he does turn into a really top striker, so it would make sense to put in the investment as early as you can. Have we got a counter-attack on here? George Honeyman? Nah, Ballymumba's got him marked out of the game. That keeper's injured. That keeper is injured. Get him off. Imagine now, if we get him injured and he has to get took off, I'll be so happy. Hull City come forward. Yearwood to Honeyman on this right hand side. Gets past his man. O'Hara with an easy save in the end. Come on, lads. Get one more before half time. Put us 2-0 up. Going in at the break. Be hugely comfortable. Clark to Mumba overlapping on the right. Gets past his man to Andre Anderson. Finally, Anderson's starting to come into his own a little bit. I think he started the first 10 or 15 games pretty dreadfully and he found himself out of the side as a result. In the past couple of games though, he's been getting the goals, getting involved in the attacking player, and that is a beautiful finish. He should be as well. He's an absolutely incredible player for this level, attribute wise. Very pleased with your performance, lads. Go out and do it again for me, please. First highlight of the second half comes 54 minutes in. And it's Ballymumba coming down this right hand side. Lord, go on Jakobsen. Little through ball for Esposito there. Can't quite finish. Andre Anderson picks up the ball on the edge. Goes back to Dobson. Don't lose it here. I had visions of a Hull City counter-attack. Esposito to Dobson. Playing it about nicely in the triangles, and Ballymumba can't quite get past his man, but he does whip it in. Jose Gomes, somebody gets past his man, whips it in. Oh, Jakobsen over the bar. So 65 minutes gone. Things are going pretty well. We'll get Lyndon Gooch on the right hand side. I want to bring on Anton in as well. We'll put him up top, take Esposito off. We don't need to keep him on when it's unnecessary. We'll look to keep him fit. 8 minutes to go. Are Hull going to make this interesting? It doesn't look like it. We defend that pretty well. Ballymumba can come down the right hand side with Lyndon Gooch. There's the pass. A little bit too late there, so he keeps it going down the right hand side. Back to Mumba. Oh, lovely little play down there. Oh, he's offside. That was such a good goal as well. I want to see, was he offside though? Mumba, he was offside. He was a good yard or two offside there. So with only 13 minutes to go, we will make our final change of the game. Marcinski can come on the left-hand side for Batista Maya, who's had another decent game. Getting the assist, of course, for one of the goals. And with 86 minutes gone, Lyndon Gooch whips in the corner. George Dobson picks it up. Back out to Lyndon Gooch. Come on, Lyndon. Whips it in. Oh, counter-attack here. You can feel it. No, we can't. Well defended. Kalisa picks it up from O'Hara to Lyndon Gooch on this right-hand side. Go on, beat this man. Go. Oh, man. Why we're losing the ball? Pick this back up. Jose Gomes wins it. Marcinski. Lovely little pass there to Ballymumba. Marcinski's back post. That is a great goal. That was all Philippe as well. His 6th goal of the season. And that's generally why I've been starting him over Andre Anderson in this central attack midfield role. He just seems to dictate the play a little bit better and gets involved in the assists and the goals a lot more. And Ballymumba's done absolutely excellently on that in the right back spot. Oh, Hull City go close. Maybe I need to start training them now. I don't know. He's combined pretty well with Lyndon Gooch as well since Gooch came on. Far better than he was with Jack Clark in the first half. And that is going to be it, I would presume, referee. We're a good half a minute over. There we have it. Sunderland 3, Hull City 0. We are through to the 5th round, so we've matched what we did last season. Anyway. Now we just need to see who we get next. Andre Anderson was the man accredited. An absolutely great goal by him. Only 4 days between now and the Charlton Athletic game at home in the league, so we will rest the boys. When is the FA Cup 5th round draw? Oh, we'll see. It'll pop up at some point. We just want to avoid Premier League opposition for as long as is humanly possible. So we do have Charlton up next. We can see them there sitting in the bottom 2 currently. We are at home as well. So you would hope that we can pick up a win. Tommy Doyle is a player I'm keeping an eye on. I would love to sign him permanently, but Manchester City often want silly money for him, even though he's only valued at 750k. So only a week left in the January transfer window, and I think I'm happy with my squad. I think we'll get promoted either way. We don't really need to spend the money right now. The players who we've got coming through, the likes of Jakobsen and Ballymumba, we need to keep the squad as free as we possibly can to enable us to give as much game time to the players with potential as we can. So at least for the rest of this championship season, these boys are getting plenty of game time. Our head of youth development's out trying to sign players. Max Heargarth, a 19-year-old. He's never ever going to make it in the first team squad, but he looks decent enough. Who was that, Matty? Who performed well for Hereford? Was that Tommy Doyle? There's been a few times I've come close to signing him on a couple of different saves, but I don't think I've ever actually managed them. And I would like to. It's just the eternal problem with young, talented English players. You've got to pay £40 million plus just to get a backup player. So with Ivan still out, we will stick with Ballymumba at right back and Jakobsen in central midfield. I'm going to actually increase his workload. Get him used to that position as quickly as possible. And I am going to train, at least briefly, Ballymumba at right back. Right, submit that team, and we'll get into the game. 4-4-2 with Charlton. Johnny Williams, former Sunderland man at left wing. Don't really recognise anyone else. Hemed from years gone by when he was a very cheap, powerful striker. Right then, let's see how this goes. They're playing on the positive. I'm a little bit surprised they're not playing defensively in their current predicament, so hopefully we can make them pay for that and really start getting some goals. But the first highlight, Charlton bringing it forward, thankfully. It's a bit of a sloppy pass now, a defence can cut it out and Jose Gomes brings it forward. Andre Anderson to Batista Maya on this left hand side. Whipped in, Clark, back to Mumba. Andre to Jakobsen, Esposito. I'll tell you what, we are playing some really, really good football in the final third right now. Quick passing, 1 or 2 touches, and it's working out pretty nicely for us. That seems the best way to get these players is waiting for the contract to expire. Because even with a year left on their deal, the sort of fees the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool and that want is just ridiculous. There's a load of Liverpool youngsters who I'm always interested in, but it's just impossible to sign them on a permanent basis. Ballymumba with the cross. Batista Maya hits the woodwork from the left hand side. We are completely dominating this game. Charlton need to change something and change something pretty quickly if they want to get back involved in here. Ballymumba has picked up enough playing out right back though, which is a little bit of an issue because we don't have McLaughlin on the bench or Luke O'Nien. Batista Maya with a corner. Hansha Olsen wins it, keeper, with a comfortable save in the end. We will look to get to the second half now. Sunderland 1, Charlton 0. I'm a little bit disappointed to be only 1-0 up, but the performance has been pleasing. So Jack Clark probably is coming off at some point this half. Got Lyndon Gooch on the bench there. Andre Anderson's playing fantastically, so we'll look to keep him on. We'll look to make that change now. Clark can come off. We'll bring on Lyndon Gooch. Probably Jose Gomes for Denver Hume, the next one. Dobson to Armini on this right hand side. Our centre back currently playing at right back. His cross is poor, and Chukwuemeka can now bring it forward for Charlton in a counter attack. Dobson. Thought Dobson was going to either give a penalty away or got himself a second yellow card and get sent off. Thankfully he didn't. Come on lads, 15 minutes to go. We'll come off attacking. We'll go to positive as they go to attacking. We'll We haven't really created anything in this game, have we? Despite looking at the match stats, it looks like we've completely dominated, but we haven't created that much. And there we have it though. We do get the 3 points. Esposito with the only goal of the game. Let's have another look at that table because it's looking quite beautiful right now. 5 points clear from Newcastle. 13 points clear from West Brom. Looks like they're keeping up the pace though. They're winning when we are winning. Hello Bosco, how's it going, mate? Thank you for joining me. Only 3 days to go before we face Bristol City away from home, so we will of course rest our players. And when is the FA Cup draw? When is it? Why have we got a friendly against Burnley? On the 9th of... oh, it's Blackpool we've got. That is brilliant. Blackpool sitting bottom of the championship. We should be able to get ourselves to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. I'm not doing too bad, Bosco. My stream died about half an hour in and disconnected the same way it did last time, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. We are in January. We've only made 1 permanent signing, but we have agreed a deal with Sergio Gomez from Borussia Dortmund to sign him on a free transfer at the end of the season, which is absolutely huge. So Sergio Gomez will be joining us in the summer. And if we are to get promoted, he will be my starting attacking midfielder. The only other signing we have made was a youngster from Copenhagen. Danish. Where is he? Matthias Jakobsen. Signed him primarily to be a central midfielder, but he could play at centre back should we need him to. And I'm trying to balance the amount of game time I give him with Ballymumba so they can both continue to improve over the rest of this season. But coming at the final couple of days of the January window, I think I'm pretty much sorted for the squad for the rest of the season now. Automatic promotion is looking at almost certainty. 13 points clear with the amount of games left and the way we are playing. I'm confident now. Playoffs will be a failure from this point. So there's the move. Curtis Jones, who we were interested in, went to Sheffield United for 31 million quid. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the Sergio Gomez signing, and I've seen him become something special. And he's already good enough for the Premier League, in my opinion, so being able to get him wrapped up, even if we don't get promoted, he's still coming to us either way. So Bristol City away next. They are currently sitting mid-table in 12th. Did we beat them last time? No, we drew 1-1 at home. I thought it was a difficult game. Batista Maya getting the own goal in that one. So this is going to be no walk in the park. I do have an Instagram account, Bosco, but to be quite honest with you, I never use it. I think I set it up when I set up this channel, or not long after. I've just never bothered with it. Andre Anderson has had a good few games, so he keeps his spot in attacking midfield. I do need the likes of Luke O'Nien on the bench though. Denver Hume's on the bench as well. Jack Clark is not playing very well right now. I'll tell you what, we're going to start Antonin on that right hand side. I am disappointed we're not giving him as much game time as we were when Esposito was injured, so maybe the right hand side is how we get him involved in the starting 11. Oh, we're facing now a former man, Antoine Semenyo, playing up top for Bristol City. Well, they've got the likes of Jade. They've got a decent little squad, Bristol City. We need to avenge the home tie though. Drawn 1-1 at home against them obviously wasn't a particularly good result. Just don't get beat, lads. That's all I'm asking. Semenyo darts past his man. He strikes, hits the bar. Is Semenyo going to punish us because he's our former player? He very well might. Oh, good save. McLaughlin's in goal today. I didn't even notice. Is O'Hara injured? Shows how much attention I'm paying. Dobson does get it clear. Right, obviously this isn't working for us. "20 minutes gone. Pretty boring game so far. Batista Maya with the free kick. Hansha Olsen at the back post. Can't quite get it on target. Come on, boys. We want to win the championship title. Not like this. Liam Walsh with his 5th goal of the season. It was a fantastic goal as well. Like, we'll skip that though. We don't need to say that again. What is it about Bristol City that we struggle? Why do we struggle against Bristol City? Is it the formation? We played against that a few times this season with different teams. So I don't think it's a formation. Second half then. First highlight of that. 48 minutes in. Set away Semenyo on this right hand side. Cuts in. He's causing us all sorts of problems, Semenyo. Oh, I'm not liking how this game is going. We are going to go back attacking. We are going to pump the tempo a little bit. Right then, we win the ball. Antonin, come on son, do something special. Out to Jose Gomes on this left hand side. Batista Maya hits the post. Antonin. Yes, his 16th goal. 16 goals for Antonin is a little bit crazy. I know he had that period where he was in the starting 11 whilst Esposito was out injured. But 16 goals is pretty good. We're going to stick with this. Stick with the attacking. It might end up costing us in the end, but I do want the 3 points if we can possibly get it. We'll swap our fullbacks, bring on Luke O'Nien and Denver Hume. Oh, Armini goes close. Good save by the keeper in the end, I think. Andre Anderson down this right hand side. Gets past his man to Antonin. It's a poor cross. Thankfully, the ball was terrible. I thought it was a counter-attacking opportunity for Bristol City there. Probably should have been. McLaughlin gives the ball away though, sloppily. And De Silva comes down this left hand side to Eliasson. Cuts in. Poor strike. Oh, what do we do? Do we go for it? I don't think we do. I think we'll just stick with what we are. We'll take Andre Anderson off for Marcinski. Fresh pair of legs, see if he can unlock their defence a little bit. 5 minutes to go. Time is ticking away and I think it's going to be a draw. 2-1 all draws against Bristol City this season. Not the worst. I'm not giving the boys credit for that though. Probably should be winning that sort of game. Next up's Derby County. That's a pretty big game. They've been in and around the playoffs all season. Looks like they've dropped a little bit of form, but they're still in with a shout. Newcastle got beat. Who did they play? They got beat off Luton. Fantastic. So we are now 6 points clear from Newcastle United and 16 points clear from West Brom. 16 points, I'm tripping. 11 points. I was wondering where 16 points suddenly came from. So Derby is up next. We will conclude the transfer window in these next couple of days. And that will be our squad sorted for the rest of the season. How many games is left? We've only got 12 games left of this season. Only 36 points to play for. So 11 points clear from West Brom. How many wins do we need? We still need quite a few wins. Still need like 9 wins out of 12 to guarantee it. And that's if they win every single game. I think we've still got to play West Brom as well. We played Sheffield United twice and Newcastle United twice. I still think we've got to play West Brom. That'll be a big game. I would not like to take part in the transfer window deadline day. Esposito comes second in the Young Player of the Month for January. How many goals? 4 goals. I think that was in 5 games, so that's not so bad. Sergio Diaz was an option I was looking at. His contract was running out at Real Madrid. Looks like Fulham have ended up going in there. I just didn't think it wasn't quite there. If we were still in the Championship, it would have been a different story, obviously. We've got to expect that we're making the Premier League. Now we just wait for the processing gods to get through all of this transfer activity, which is obviously happening. So what do you think in terms of transfer budget next season? We did get a takeover in the first season. He doesn't seem to be that rich, but he gave us 18 million quid getting promoted from League One to the Championship. Don't think the finances are very healthy though at the club. I think we're losing money pretty much every single month, despite having a pretty low wage budget for this division. So we are anticipated to be at minus 13 million at the end of this season. We are releasing a good couple of players, one of our highest earners. As you can see, we're only 17th in terms of wages. Ian McGeady will be leaving. We're paying him about 15 grand a week. Grant Ledbetter will be leaving. He's getting about 15k per week as well. So that'll be 30k saved straight away. There'll be plenty of other players who we end up releasing at the end of the season as well. So I'm hoping we get around, I would say maybe about 30 million quid. I think we can do some damage with 30 million. If you've watched Yo-Yo Man, I think we had a similar sort of budget when we got promoted with Barnsley. And we done pretty well there. And this season's actually the exact point where we got promoted with Barnsley. It was 2 seasons in. So we'll have to keep an eye out on some of our former players who we signed with them. I don't want to just go out and sign the exact same players, but some of them were pretty good. The likes of Nicolas Capaldo was absolutely phenomenal for me. Fausto Vera was really good. Luis Montenegro, we might have to take a look at him. Who else did we sign? There was a centre-back, Alan Franco. I liked Alan Franco. I think our goalkeeper was poor. Ozohu, didn't we? Signed Ozohu. I didn't like him, so I won't be signing him again. Jakobsen injured. Thankfully, it's only for a couple of days. He will miss the Derby game though, so Ballymumble will be starting back in that central midfield spot. And if Ivan hasn't quite returned yet, it will be Luke O'Nien starting at right back. In this friendly, I have no idea where it's come from. My staff are given the responsibility of setting up friendlies, so maybe they know better than I do. So Ivan has returned from injury, maximum 75 minutes of action, which is fine. So we've got Luke O'Nien on the bench to replace him at some point. Kalisa is suspended, so Hansha Olsen comes in to partner Armeni at the back. Clark is not playing well. We'll stick in Anthony, and Marcinski can come in for Andre Anderson. And Josh Scowen can come onto the bench. Now we have it. That is going to be our starting 11 for Derby. Away from home against a good side. I do want the win, but I would take a point. Right, keep an eye on this game for us. I'll be back in a second. Oh, we're winning. Happy days. Who scored? Esposito, of course it was. Ivan's picked up a knock. That's not great. And Jose Gomes. What's happened? Did you just tell our boys to just jump into tackles? We'll bring on Danny Vardadam for his first start for the club at left back. And Luke 19 at right back. Batista Maya with a corner. George Dobson picks it up on the edge of the area. Out to Marcinski on this right hand side. Go on, son. It's blocked. We do keep the ball well. Thank God for O'Hara. Luke 19. You were nearly flogged in the street there, mate. Half time then, Derby 0, Sunderland 1. I'm pleased, relatively. Even though I didn't see most of it. Marcinski driving through the centre, gets dispossessed. Ballymumba picks it up though. Out to the right hand side. There's Luke 19 in acres of space. Whips it in. Esposito. Oh, great save by the keeper. They do manage to get the ball clear as well. Should probably be 2-0 up at that point. Batista Maya to Ballymumba on the edge. Back to Batista Maya. I mean, great. Dobson, back to Batista Maya. Whips it in. Ballymumba's there. And Ballymumba gets his 8th goal of the season. He loves playing in the centre midfield. And I've dropped him from it. Nah. He does need to keep his development going at central midfield as well. It's a great header. Great finish. I think he's probably our 3rd highest goal scorer this season. Maybe Jack Clark or Lyndon Gooch is just slightly above him, but other than Esposito and Antonin, he's pretty close up there. Batista Maya with a corner. Ballymumba. Back to Maya. Esposito's there, back post. Esposito's 24th goal of the season. I've got to try and make that a permanent signing, I have to. He's too good. And he's sort of been a talisman of my saves as well. There's always one player you get so attached to that you make that signing every single time it's available. Oh, good challenge by Armani. Lozano though whips it in. Lawrence's back post and he goes wide. 20 minutes to go. We've only got one sub remaining after both of our fullbacks got injured, so we'll look to save it just in case we suffer another injury. Dobson switches the play well to Luke 09. Esposito was there from post and goes over the bar. "13 minutes to go. We will make our final sub. Antonin can come off. We'll bring on Jack Clark. I think Clark does pretty well coming off the bench. Probably better than when he starts. Oh, Abubakar Kamara gets his 3rd goal of the season. A fantastic finish there. We're probably still on attacking, are we? We are. We'll go down to balanced. Oh, we've only got ourselves to blame if we concede again and get a nervy last 10 minutes. Oh, Dobson does well, picking up the ball from Wayne Rooney. Can't set away Esposito though. Luke O'Nien, good interception there, stopping the counter-attack. Oh, Luke, please. It's the second time I've seen you mess up the day. Come on. Oh, Kamara. If we throw this away, we've got nobody to blame but ourselves. Luke O'Nien, I think that's the second time we've seen him during a highlight lose the ball just by dilly-dallying on it. So they're attacking right now. 5 minutes to go. I didn't want another highlight, but we've got one. Armani to Hansha Olsen. Out of Batista Meyer on this left-hand side. Ballymumba's made the run through the centre. He's in behind. It's a tight angle and he should not be shooting from there. Unfortunately, Football Manager hasn't patched that out. That's why your wing-backs and your wingers get to the byline and shoot from ridiculous angles. Thankfully, we get away with a win though. Derby County 2, Sunderland 3. And that sees us safely through with another win. Let's see how Newcastle, West Brom and Sheffield United did. So we are now still 6 points clear, so Newcastle won. And still only 11 points clear from West Brom, so they won as well. Newcastle smashed Birmingham 5-0. West Brom beat Bristol City 2-1 with a 94th minute winner. That would have been good if they had managed to drop points, extending our lead between us and third place. Just that little bit extra, give us a little bit more cushion to try and guarantee ourselves automatic promotion. So we've got this friendly against Burnley and then Sheffield Wednesday at home again. We smashed them in the FA Cup, so I'm hoping we can do it again, but this time in the league. So we've already passed the objective of getting a top half finish. A year ahead of schedule. Excuse me. Diego Rosa. He looks pretty good, doesn't he, for 18 years old? Something to keep an eye on. Obviously, South American players are difficult for us to sign right now due to work permit restrictions, and we're not paying that much money for them. So our South American signings will probably be limited to high profile, high transfer fee and high wage signings. Let's see how we do against Burnley in this friendly. Then our assistant manager will, of course, take the reins. How did we do? Beat them 4-1. It looks like they were playing a pretty weak inside. We were playing pretty much full strength side. I'm still really confused by that friendly, but we'll look to rest our boys before we get to the next game because they will be tired otherwise. Ivan shouldn't have played that game. There's Max Power eventually leaving to join Nashville in the MLS. I think £1 million for a player whose contract was running out at the end of the season was a good bit of business on our behalf. He was a decent player, Max Power, but he was one of the sacrifices we had to make to develop Ballymumba. He definitely played pretty well last season if you've watched it. He scored some fantastic goals in League One, but he found his game time highly limited this season. Batista Meyer is someone who I really, really want to sign. Come on, Ballymumba. Keep flying up, mate. Now valued at £12.5 million. Still wanted by Palace and Reading. So Sheffield Wednesday are in 15th. We've already played them so far in the FA Cup and we they were pretty weak. They didn't really cause us that many problems, so I am anticipating a comfortable win here, but of course, it might not always happen. Right, O'Hara, Ivan, should we start them? We will. Kalisa, Armeni, Jose Gomes, Dobson, Mumba. We'll start Clark. But we'll start Marcinski for Andre Anderson, Batista Maya, Esposito. We do want Luke O'Neill on the bench. We do want Josh Scowen on the bench. Jakobsen's on the bench as well. We'll look to get him on this game, regardless of what happens. We could take Ivan off, put Ballymumba at right back and bring Jakobsen into the central midfield. Highlights straight from kick-off, is there? Oh, we'll see how this goes. De Cruz cuts in off the left-hand side for Wednesday to Leongo. Don't do this to me after I've just talked down about you. Penny. Oh my god. I was just giving Sheffield Wednesday a grief. Why did they do that to me? I suppose it's karma. 3 minutes in though. Can we bounce straight back? Ballymumba, Jose Gomes whips in. Claimed by the keeper. I've got Tudor Baluta. He's a good player from Brighton. Ball's played over the top. Thank God he's offside. Thank God he is offside. O'Hara was in absolute no man's land there. Oh, is he offside? The lines say he is, but whether he was or not, that's up for debate. Come on, boys. First 25 minutes or so have been incredibly disappointing. Mind you, that keeper's on a 7.5 already, so that shows you something. He's having a pretty good game. 15 shots, 11 on target. None of them highlight worthy. Oh, here we go. Penny with a corner. We do get a clear. Clark sets away Esposito. Come on, Seb. Bury this. He does as well. Come on, Sebastiano. His 25th goal of the season. Jack Clark with the assist. And thoroughly deserved, at least by the match stats. It was a nice through ball down the right hand side. Esposito with his typical finish to the back post. And there we have it. Match stat wise, we fully deserved going in at 1-1. But I'm still not happy with our performance. So we'll give him a kick up the arse. See if that makes any difference. Oh, Esposito's picked up a knock. We cannot risk him. Antonin can come on. Ballymumba plays the ball down the left-hand side for Batista Maya. Esposito, before he goes off, he gets his second goal of the game and his 26th goal of the season to put us 2-1 up. I feel a little bit bad taking him off now. He's on his hat-trick. But it's not worth the risk, Seb. We need to get you off. And we will get Ivan off now as well. We'll put Ballymumba at right back and Matthias Jakobsen in central midfield. Another highlight now, Batista Maya with a corner. Dobson's back post hits the bar. Clark, Antonin, somebody. Unfortunately can't get the goalmouth scramble over the line. 25 minutes to go. Can we hold out for the win here? We'll go down from attacking to positive. That keeper's still on a 7.3 despite conceding 2. Shows you what sort of game he has had. But apart from the 2 highlights in the first half, what we saw from Sheffield Wednesday, they've done absolutely nothing in this game. 2 shots, 1 on target, 37% possession. Time is ticking away. Thankfully, we do bounce back and get the 3 points. I would have been highly disappointed if we didn't. Let's see how the chasing pack did. So still 6 points clear, so Newcastle won, and so Newcastle and West Brom both won their games. West Brom away from home against Wigan, and Newcastle away from home against Brentford 4-0. We've got Redden next. How are they doing? I haven't seen much of them at the top of the table, so I'm assuming they're pretty far down. Yeah, 21st, just outside the relegation zone. Did Esposito actually pick up an injury there? Looks like we got him off in time, so he didn't get anything that would keep him out of any games, thankfully. So West Ham are interested in George Dobson, are they? 20 million quid and he's probably sold, I think. Denver Hume, I should probably be giving that boy some more game time as well, being an academy graduate. But obviously Jose Gomes, who we signed in the summer, has been too good. We couldn't afford to force Denver Hume in, as well as forcing the likes of Ballymumba in, the likes of George Dobson in. Batista Maya, hopefully he's back for the game. He's been superb. What's happening? Don't disconnect. I think we'll play this final game, boys. I'm going to end today's stream. I am experiencing some issues with the stream, so I need to test things out, get it sorted, because it's ruining me VODs. There will, of course, still be a Yo-Yo Man going live at 6:15 tonight. As you will have seen, we took over Leeds United. Got some big things, hopefully, with Leeds. I didn't think we'd beat Birmingham City with Huddersfield. We could do it with Leeds. I think they are just about good enough. We will keep Gonzalo Ramos on a short list. Philippe, he's our best trainer this week. His potential has been downgraded this season. We did sign him as a 5-star, downgraded to a 4. He'll be a good backup next season though, when we sign Sergio Gomez and he comes in permanently. Right then, we'll start Andre Anderson instead of Philippe. We'll start Lidden and Gooch on that right hand side instead of Jack Clark. Ivan's back fit. Looks like we're pretty much full strength there. We'll bring on Luke O'Nien for Charlie Wyke and Josh Scowen for John McLaughlin onto the bench. See if we can get the win away from home against Reading. Yeah, of course you can, Bosco. I think it's my emails. It's on my YouTube channel somewhere, probably in the About section. Oh, Esposito gets challenged down the left-hand side. That was a red card, referee. Come on. Batista Maya with a free kick. Esposito goes over the bar. Batista Maya again with a free kick. Esposito goes over the bar. It's like Groundhog Day. Ballymumba tries to switch the play to the left. He can't quite do it. And Ajaria, former Sunderland man, comes down the right hand side. Kalisa with a decent challenge, not giving away the penalty, which was the main concern. And Esposito picks it up, gets past 1, gets past 2. And that was an interesting strike. And now we have the first half just ticking away. Thankfully, we have ourselves another highlight. Ivan Lopez wins the ball on the right-hand side. Keeps it, playing it back to Kalisa. To Armini. Over the top. Ah, he was making the run there, Ballymumba. And we give the ball away instead. And Lauder comes down the left-hand side for Red and he's in. Good challenge. Number 5, it was Kalisa. Uh, 2 seconds. Bosco, I'll have a check. Oh, Kalisa gets his head on it. So with half an hour remaining, can we get the final win of today? That's my email address, Bosco, in the chat. Eight minutes to go. Jose Gomes to Esposito. To Andre Anderson, Dobson. Switch the plate to Ivan on the right hand side. Come on, bury this. It's well defended. Batista Maya with a strike. Great finish. Won his 4th goal of the season, but he's got plenty of assists. Now we have it. It looks like we're going to get our final win of today. Reading 0, Sunderland 2. It's been a decent stream in terms of results and performances. We've got the 5th round of the FA Cup and we've got Blackpool, which is good. We've also, of course, won. Have we won every game apart from Bristol City today? I think we have in the league. We've managed to extend our lead over Newcastle United. 6 points and 11 points clear from West Brom. They are keeping up the pressure though. West Brom with a win again today. Newcastle with a 4-0 win against Middlesbrough. So they're not making it easy, but with only 9 games remaining, we are looking pretty comfortable. But anyway, boys, that's going to be enough from me. A little bit disappointed with the problems I'm having with the stream at the minute, but hopefully I'll test them out for the rest of the day and try and get them sorted for the next one. But anyway, if you have enjoyed today's stream, leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and until next time, take it easy.